Hi, you're watching my interview with Dominique Flux, founder of jewellery company Fine and Flux Jewellery. It was a pleasure speaking to her about how she got into the jewellery business and the problems she's encountered along the way. I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoyed interviewing her. Here you go.
How did you get started in the jewellery design business?
So I'm not very good in school. I actually dropped out. So right after high school, like I was always very artistic, but going into the arts is very frowned upon here. Like it's not something that's seen as like an actual career path. It's something that you kind of do when you don't really have any other options. And so I was actually leaving high school trying to get into physiotherapy. That was really not for me. Like a big no-no because I'm just artistic. It just didn't work. So yeah, I did a couple months of trying to get into that. And then I realized, okay, this is not working. I need to take a break. And during that break, I just happened to take jewelry classes just for the fun of it. And then I just really loved it. And then I kind of like persevered that I specialize in 3D design because jewelry is made in 3D today. So I specialized into that. And then I kind of like hustled my way into working for big companies quite early on. I just kind of like bullshitted my way in there. I think I had like even like 3 months of like 3D experience, and I was just like, yeah, I can do this. And I started working for them, and I apprenticed, and then I launched my own company.
Oh,
Yeah.
good, amazing. So just jewelry, you picked that by random, or
Kind of, yeah, because like the thing is I'm good with my hands, so I was like, okay, like what can I do? And I think it's just like it happened by coincidence, but I took like a carpool with this lady who was a jeweler, and she was telling me all about her work, and I feel like somehow on some subconscious level I must have remembered that.
and it like clicked, definitely. So you mentioned you like hustled your way into like big businesses. So I think I saw, was it Xand you worked for? What was it like working in such like a big company like that?
um so it was really toxic environment. It was really not enjoyable, but on the flip side I really learned a lot, because like they were a startup. They're not actually that old of a company. I think they're maybe like 12 years old. But they far surpass like any other company that's been growing. You know what I mean? And it was really a big eye awakener that it really comes down to marketing. They are so good at marketing their products that they were able to grow versus like other companies who personally I find their jewelry a little bit nicer. They haven't been able to grow at all because they're not able to get that exposure. So it was really interesting like working for them, and like it was very high pace. So go. Yeah.
Nice. So was that like why you decided to go out on your own, just that toxic atmosphere, and you needed to be doing what you want to do?
A little bit of both. So I always kind of like was like a little bit hustling on the side, kind of like doing my own projects on the side. I also knew that I like at the end of the day I never fully wanted to work for somebody else because like it's how can I say, when you're designing for other people, those designs don't belong to you.
Ah, okay.
That was really hard for me because that's like my best talent is my design work. And so, you know, I'd be working for these other companies because I did freelance for everybody, not just them. And yeah, you design things and you have zero recognition. Like I designed rings for Megan Markle,
No
and
way. No way. That's insane.
I have zero recognition because it was under Xan.
And are you
Like those
allowed to
designs
like,
don't belong to me.
are you allowed to put that out there now? Are you allowed to say, like on your portfolio, for example, I designed this, or are you still like bound by I can't talk about this?
I don't even know. Like, I feel like if they found out, they would send me a cease and desist. Like, I don't even know. But yeah, so like, it's disappointing.
Yeah, no, it must be better being on your own now. So
Yeah.
I have zero knowledge of how to design jewelry, not a creative person, so I'm fascinated. How do you go about doing it? Say, for example, your custom designs, how would you go through the process?
So it's really fun actually. The kind of the start to finish is like clients, they reach out to you, they kind of tell you what it is that you want. And then we actually design it in 3D for them. and we send them 3D renderings, so they get to see the piece before it's actually made.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we like choose the gemstones. Like if you tell me like I have this budget, I love emerald, I love this cut, then we send you like a selection of gemstones that you choose from them. And then we basically, once everything's approved, we print it in 3D printing. It comes out kind of like a wax version. Then we inject it in gold, like high speed gold. It gets injected, it takes the form of the ring, and then we basically polish it, set the stones, and ship it out to you.
Oh,
So it's
wow.
fun.
Yeah, it's a lot more like high tech than I was thinking. Like I was imagining you like slaving away in the dark with like actual gold. So is that something that's quite obviously new in the past few years to jewelry design, that 3D printing technique as well?
Yeah, so it's dominated the industry over the last 15 years. That it really came into play. But now, like honestly, like I want to say like 99% of jewelry is made in 3D design. Like even jewelers who will still make certain things by hand, anytime it comes to like engagement rings or anything a little bit higher end, they tend to subcontract people like me to do the actual 3D work.
So is that just because for things like engagement rings, they need it to be absolutely perfect, and that's why they go to 3D? Or
It's like, I think one, it just aesthetically, you're able to have exactly what you want. Like it's just like you're able to do so much more. Like I don't know if you can see my ring,
oh
but
yeah, oh it's gorgeous. Yeah, so it allows you
it's
to go into more
covered
detail.
in vines, and like it's very, very detailed, and like it that kind of, yeah, that stuff you can't do by hand, and so it just kind of like opens up this door of possibilities. It creates a lot more perfection. Like we build to like 0.05 millimeters. Like we're so precise, and so what we're building is just like it's like a little bit different. It's very exact. Yeah.
Oh no, I love that. Like, so depending on like the client, like how much creative freedom do you get with each design? Are you allowed to just have like completely free reign sometime and do your like wildest dreams, or are some people very like, I want this, and this, and it's very hard to be creative?
We get both. Sometimes they're very specific on what they want, and we just kind of reproduce it. And other times they give us creative liberty. It doesn't happen as often, but when it does, it's really fun.
What's your favorite sort of one that you've ever done that you've been able to be most creative with?
I think recently I did a pendant and a ring for a woman, and I can send you the pictures afterwards, but she kind of just gave me like yeah, free range, as long as the stone was like the same as this one. It's like a mint tourmaline, so it's kind of like a mint color. Okay. And then I how can I say, I love movement in jewelry. I love it when things kind of like twist and fold and have like more organic shapes, and so she just kind of let me do that.
Oh, beautiful. So like how do you source like the gemstones or like the gold and stuff? Like where is that all from?
All over the world. So we have different vendors for different things. Like I have local vendors here, but sometimes, you know, for certain things like let's say sapphires, and I'll import from Thailand, or we have stones from the US, Australia as well, Canada. Like if you want a Canadian diamond, then we can get Canadian diamond. So it's a little bit from everywhere.
Oh, lovely. So has the pandemic sort of skewed that a bit? I'm not sure how it would have affected the jewelry business, but did it make importing things from different countries more difficult, or was it fine?
Yeah, it did. Like in terms of sales, like we weren't hit in the sense that like love keeps going. Our bread and butter is engagement, and so people were still getting engaged. So that was good, but you definitely saw things like, for example, this year diamonds are going up by like 10 to 20% in cost. Like it's significant. Or because there would be short staff in mines, there would be certain things like, for example, one gemstone like aquamarine, you couldn't get it. Like it was very, very hard to get it because they just had shortages. There wasn't enough people working. So yeah, you definitely felt it. You definitely saw price increases in random things. Yeah.
So in turn, like because you're paying more for the gemstones, you're having to put up prices yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God. Yeah, well, it's good that it hasn't like destroyed your business and it's kept that going. And I suppose the thing you mentioned about love was really interesting as well. I think like it's the sentimental value that people attach to your
Yeah.
items once they're bought. Is that something that really drives your like love for this business?
Yeah, for sure, 100%, because we do custom design. So it's not the same. People come to us usually with like stories, or they want to incorporate little like elements, little designs within that have certain meanings to them. So sometimes it's actually funny because it's too much. especially for men, they love the symbolism. So you get rings with like, it's just like this monstrosity of like stuff, and you gotta kind of like sort through it. But yeah, we get a lot of special meaning in jewelry.
Going back, like I was very interested in sort of like the toxic atmosphere you're talking about. Was it sort of very male dominated, or was it just, I don't know, because this is a piece about women in the arts. I was wondering, have you struggled being a woman in this field, or has it been quite balanced in terms of gender?
No, it's not balanced at all. Because it's interesting because the jewelry industry has fashion jewelry and there's high jewelry. So
Okay.
fashion jewelry is predominantly women. Fashion jewelry is usually, I'd say, prices 500 and under. But once you hit fine jewelry, it's all men, and it's all men over the age of 40. Like you can walk into any store and you're going to be served by an older man. If there's a woman there, it's because it's his wife. Like that's how it is. And it made it really hard for two reasons, because like clients would see me and they would be like, they would see like a young baby face and they would just lose like all confidence. Like, this girl can't make my $10,000 engagement ring. She looks like a baby,
Oh
you
my
know?
God.
So that was really, really hard. I had to really fight against that stereotype. I really had to position myself as a professional. Like, we have a YouTube video where we do a lot of educational videos. And so I was really able to like show like, okay, no, like I know my work, like da, 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 da. So that really helped in that sense. But even just like within the industry, like it's all men. I had to deal with like constant like sexual comments, like really disgusting. Like I would go into work into office with, because it's all subcontracting, right? We work with everybody, and I would go into offices and like I would get just like the most freaking repulsive, like just repulsive comments, like constantly, like just disgusting, like crude. And so it was really hard to work with them. They don't take you seriously. They have zero respect for you. You know, if you need something done that should only take like a day, you come back 3 days later, they didn't even touch it. They don't care. You're at the back of the line. Like they just don't, they have zero respect. Um, it it was really hard. That you know something costs, let's say 100, they're gonna charge you 250. You're constantly fighting with them. Like you really I had to really develop like a very strong carapace, like a very strong like resilience, because they constantly take advantage of you and they have no respect. So it was hard. It was really hard in the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like they just assume that you've got no knowledge, like the price thing. And I'm sorry that you had to deal with like just the horrible sexist, crude comments. It's just, oh, it's disgusting. Like, is there anything that I mean, you haven't got all the answers, you're not, but is there anything that you would love to see change within the industry that could stop this kind of behavior, really?
Um, I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like the old generation is literally just going to have to make its way out, and the new generation is going to have to come in. Um, yeah, because I unfortunately I don't really see their way of doing things changing. Yeah, I don't have a better answer.
No, you're not supposed to have all the answers. Like it's for them to change their behavior, not for you to change them, I suppose. There's also like, do you find your peers and sort of people your own age, are there more women involved than when you say started out? Like, can you see that change now, or is it still kind of not getting where it should be?
Like there's definitely more women in, but it's always a kind of, I feel like they always are staying more within fashion jewelry. I feel like it's harder for them to get to the levels of like actually owning like a storefront. That's you still don't see that. And hopefully it does change, but I'm a little bit skeptical. It's hard.
Yeah. You do feel that there needs to just be more money and time invested into getting women like into it. So like, I suppose what I'm trying to ask is, if a young woman like didn't know that jewelry design was a path for her or something she could go into, what would be your advice to sort of get her into that industry?
I would say to find really good allies who have your back. When I'm in the jewelry industry today, I like when I go down to the jewelry district, I keep really to the people that I trust, and I know the people that have my back, and those are exclusively the people that I work with. And I think finding like a really resilient kind of like team and really resilient network will really, really help you. Yeah,
That sounds,
for
yeah.
sure.
So I'm going to move away from sort of a slightly kind of tough topic now. I saw on your, I think it was your YouTube and your Instagram, you sort of do like little reviews of like jewelry and films. I think it's the House of Gucci one. And I wanted to ask, like, if you could have designed jewelry for any film, TV show, stage show, or like a Met Gala event or a celebrity, who would you have loved to design for?
Okay, I have two probably.
Oh
So
no, go
I'd
on, give me
probably
them.
like I'd probably like to do someone who's a little bit extravagant in their fashion, and I'd have to say maybe Kat Von D,
Oh,
because
nice.
yeah, even though it's not necessarily my style, I feel like she would want something out of the box, which would be fun. Or Diplo, because he does a lot of like big Western inspired jewelry, which could also be fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Like, is in like Western, is in like cowboys, or just like
Yeah, I've seen him quite a few times doing kind of like Western inspired outfits, kind of like very
nice?
kitsch. And so that could also be very fun to design for.
Oh, definitely. So, finally, how does it feel to have just like mastered such an old tradition? I think, I don't know, I feel like jewelry has such a long history, and being part of it, how does that feel, really?
It feels good. I feel very proud to show my work, and I feel proud to say that I'm in the fine jewelry industry. So, yeah, I guess I'd have to say very proud. Yeah.
Could you just give me a few more details, like for anyone who will be like watching the interview or reading the article, how they can find you, how they can get in contact, or how they can like support you or anything?
Yeah, so if you do want to learn more about like educational videos on anything to do with jewelry, we do have the YouTube channel Dominique Flux. If not, we have our Instagram channel Fine and Flux Jewellery, which is like short versions of that with like our portfolio. Yeah, and then they can contact me anywhere. We have our email info at Fine and Flux, but like we answer all our DMs, whether it's Reddit, whether it's YouTube, anything. We're pretty active.
Oh, fantastic. And yeah, if anyone could like, would you be open as well to like, if anyone needed advice or just wanted to like learn how to create jewelry, would you like be willing to help them as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We do a lot of production videos. So if you want to see some like behind the scenes too. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks for taking the time to speak to me. It's been really, really interesting.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I look forward to reading it.
Yeah, have a good
Yeah,
rest of your day.
absolutely.
I'll see you
Thank you so
soon.
much.
Bye.